Hi, I'm Sonya White Jaguar. Welcome to White Jaguar Weekend Read, my weekly audiobook series. Let's continue with my free book, Writing Alan Rickman's Autobiography, a fan fiction romance. Chapter 10, Teppanyaki Theater. On the afternoon of our date to the burlesque show, Alan phoned and asked me to come to his apartment early that evening. He said he had a surprise for me. Considering the nature of his previous surprises, I didn't know what to expect. When I arrived at his door, he greeted me shirtless and barefoot, wearing only a pair of dark trousers. "Aren't you forgetting something?" I teased. He smirked and said only, "Come with me to the bedroom." Does he want a quickie before dinner, I thought. When I walked into the bedroom, I was stunned to see a strapless satin cocktail dress laid out flat on top of the bed. Red, of course. Alan said he wanted us both to dress up for the occasion. I slipped off the casual shift dress and high heels I was wearing and tried on Alan's gift. As I smoothed out the fabric around the front, he zipped up the back for me. I was pleased that the dress fit perfectly. I don't know how he'd known what size to get, because he hadn't asked for my measurements. Afterward, he insisted on styling my hair in a soft updo and painting my fingernails red. As I admired my reflection in the bathroom mirror, I remarked, "I look like a woman on fire." Wait till you see where I'm taking you," Alan said, as he slipped on a neatly ironed white dress shirt and a dark blazer that matched his trousers. I raised my eyebrows quizzically. "You'll see," he said mysteriously. "I hope you like Japanese cuisine." My curiosity was piqued. Like our first meeting at the party for a little chaos, Alan's flair for the dramatic was obvious. He had hired a driver to take us to an area of Manhattan I wasn't familiar with. After a short drive, we arrived at the front door of a high-end teppanyaki restaurant, where the chefs prepare meals in front of the diners. "We'll have a terrific dinner here," Alan whispered in my ear as we waited for the host to seat us. "The owners are friends of mine." After a few moments, we were escorted to the back of the restaurant and through a pair of shoji sliding doors to a private room that Alan had reserved for us. The ambiance exuded romance. The painted red walls were lit with rows of candles, giving the illusion that the room was outdoors under moonlight. In the background, the sound system was playing soft, traditional Japanese music. We sat beside each other in front of an iron griddle that was built into a large U-shaped table that could have easily sat 8 or 10 guests. A few moments later, a Japanese chef entered through a door behind the griddle. He was all smiles as he leaned over the grill to shake our hands. As expected, Alan introduced me as his ghostwriter and said, "She's helping me to write my autobiography." A jovial middle-aged man, the chef's eyes widened as he said to me, "Oh, working with Alan? You have my sympathy. That's not an easy job." Alan turned to me and said, "He knows me too well." The lively conversation continued, and the two men's casual banter put me at ease. Shortly after we placed our orders for steak and shrimp, the chef served us each a bowl of miso soup and a warm bottle of sake. While preparing our meal, the cook put on an incredible show for us. With a long steel knife in each hand, he chopped up the vegetables faster than I could see the blades cut. He occasionally flipped a shrimp in the air and juggled the two knives like an acrobatic food ninja. When he lit the grill, flames danced so brightly around the food that I jerked back reflexively, partly from the heat, and also fearing the table might catch fire. Jokingly, I asked the chef, "Now what do we do? Perform a ceremonial dance around the table?" He laughed heartily and exclaimed, "No, the show is for you. Just eat and enjoy." After he served our plates and departed, we relished the meal in private. Alan insisted we sample each other's dishes and offered me a piece of beef from his plate with his chopsticks. I took it into my mouth eagerly. It was tender with a slight ginger taste. Then I did the same for him with a piece of shrimp from my plate. "You're spoiling me," he said with a smile. "I don't know," I said. "I think you're doing a much better job of spoiling me. I wasn't expecting such a spectacle with dinner." Alan took a sip of sake and said, "Flames of fire and flashy knives in the hands of a skilled chef. Even a restaurant can put on a show. You don't usually think about a restaurant when you hear the word theater. Artists are hiding everywhere in plain sight." Wait until you see the burlesque show. Join me next week for Chapter 11, The Burlesque Show. Subscribe to my channel if you haven't already so you'll be notified when the next video is posted. You can also sign up for my newsletter on my website, sonyawhitejaguar.com, and get notified that way. I send out newsletters twice a month. Thanks so much for watching. I'll see you next week.